What's up? It's your girl. Welcome back to Bro Talking Healthy Food. I'm here chilling in the bed, and we're going to talk about this LILNASX video and the bullshit that he is pulling once again. So let's get into it. Cue that thing. I like the way that this one commenter on someone's page called him Next. What he called him? Lil Nah Next. That's what he called him. Little Nah Next. But let's get into it and we're going to dive deep per usual. So this fool has a song out and a video, of course, called Industry Baby. Okay, and that in itself is very low level because people call him the industry plant, and he's just getting his kicks by trolling and at his own detriment, and not his detriment in regards to how much money he's making or these worldly awards, or I mean there's no real competition for you, so you're not Nas, you're not competing with any talent. So Mr. Hill, I'm gonna need you to not don't let these motherfuckers gas you up. They're not used to real talent. Moving on, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say a few things, and I don't know how my subscribers is going to feel about this next statement, but as y'all know, I don't give a damn about how y'all feel, but I do give a fuck about what's going on around us, okay? The first thing I'm going to say, I think I said it in my previous video when we were discussing his last video. This could have been a real bop. Like when I close my eyes and I hear the song, it could have been a bop. Even the Devil song, it could have been a real fucking bop. Like when I close my eyes and I just open my ears, that could have been like a true bop. He really could have, excuse all my moving around, but I'm in the bed and I'm just trying to get comfortable. But it could have really been like a real motherfucking bop. And I'm just like, why didn't you not take advantage of the little talent that you got and maximize off of that? You could have been a different voice. You could have been a different sound. You could have gone so many directions instead of the shock volume, right? And condemning yourself, your soul, and everything that has to do with that. Like, if you don't think these spiritual realms and this spiritual war isn't real, you're gonna learn very soon. Now, we all have our demons, and there's no others. Well, I think except being a Chester and death, is there's no sin greater than the other, and that's just my humble opinion, right? So it's not about him being homosexual. It's not about his sexuality at all. It is the imagery that we're don't agree with. It's the imagery. That's the problem. It doesn't have anything to do with you being homosexual. That doesn't even make any sense. And I really truly hate the term homophobe. I really do. It's like, what are we afraid of? What is it that you think that we're scared of? Like, that makes no sense. Like, it just really doesn't. So let's get into the video, because the imagery in itself, what he decided to do doesn't even match the lyrical content. It doesn't go together. It doesn't make any sense. Just like his last video, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even go together. What you talking about and what the video is showing doesn't make sense together. It's just like, I don't know, like visually with all those effects that you got access to, one would think you would come up with a better idea. So let's get into the video. It starts off, he's getting sentenced to prison. What for? I don't give a damn. Okay. The next scene, he's in prison, dusting off these awards. He's dusting off his awards as he's rapping about what? I don't know. But it sounds like some bullshit to me. But he's dusting off his awards. Then commences to have some dude twerk on him. Now, mind you, this is in prison, right? This scene is shot in a fake prison, as he likes to say, right? Then the next scene is him and I guess his two prison wives, or prison husbands or whatever, walking down the hallway, and I guess they're heading to the showers. So in prison, um, when you make somebody your prison bitch or whatnot, they hold their pockets. So it's just a known thing. It's a known thing in prison. And you could also see in this imagery, they're dressed as, you know, they're dressed as a typical prison, what a typical prison bitch would make themselves look like. They're sagging, you know, and the whole nine, as you saw in the other picture. You know, they got this thing where they say they pay for it's a style. They call it some sort of gangster style. You know, they the world, right? And see, but they want to proud of this, right? So say you're paying to her, man, somebody be up in your butt, you know, and it's just and so. So then they head to the showers and break out in a butt naked ass choreographed routine. I mean, they dropping it low, busting it wide, busting it wide, body rolling and all that ill shit. Just butt ass naked in the prison showers. Now, I'm not gonna. That's all I'm gonna show you at the video. You can watch the video yourself, okay? Because you know my videos are prone to getting flagged and blocked, and I have to sit up there and try to reload 50 times and re-edit. So forget all that. A lot of people was feeling some kind of way about that video as I was myself. I saw it floating around and I was just like, okay, like I really didn't know what was going on because there's other shit going on in the world right now. I mean, France is protesting, Australia is protesting. They're telling people they could work but they ain't gonna get paid if they didn't get um shit, I don't even know what to call it, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Only one person can leave the house. They dealing with curfews. They dealing with, I mean, it's way more important shit going on. Germany done got flooded. London done got flooded. California continuously burning down. Okay. What else? We got, all kind of shit going on, more important shit than him. And I told you on my last video, I'm not fucking with him, but I forgot what I was doing, but I was on the gram and it was brought to my attention and I watched it. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing fun, cute, popping, cracking, lit, whatever the fuck remix you want to have about being in prison. There's nothing fun, exciting, or not to be celebrated about being in prison. Okay, and I just couldn't appreciate that. I got people who serving life bids. I got people who serving 12-year bids. I got people in my life today, right now, 20-year bids. That is not fun, and it's not fun for the person who writing letters and doing all this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing fun about that. I didn't think it was fun, funny, or cute. Niggas is not in there making it rain on another nigga while he's twerking in his face. And niggas definitely ain't breaking out in song and dance in no goddamn shower. There's rules and regulations to that shit. What are you talking about? And I just think it's ridiculous as him being a black man, because let me tell you something. Mr. Hill, Montero Lamont Hill, let me tell you something, sir, real quick. If we put you in a Honda Civic and you ride around in the hood, motherfuckers is not gonna know you got. They gonna see your black ass first. Remember, you're black first, and then you're whatever the fuck else. Because let me tell you something. When them racist ass jakes pull you over, and you got money too, when they pull you over in your nice ass car, just remember, sir, you're black. And they will put a bullet in your gay ass real quick, just like they would do the next nigga. And with all the issues that we have within the black community in regards to the prison industrial complex, it is so multi-layered. There's the prison industrial complex, the privatization of the complex of that industry, and then we have the fact that the prison industry, the privatized industry, get off of that, Taco. The privatized industry has made a deal with record companies and entertainment companies to ensure that the cell is at that the prison is at a 90% capacity. How many times do I got to tell you guys this shit?
2012, Core Civic, formerly known as Corrections Corporation of America, the biggest name in the private prison industry, contacted 48 states offering to buy their prisons. One requirement of eligibility for the deal is particularly strange: assurance by the agency partner that the agency has sufficient inmate population to maintain a minimum 90% occupancy rate over the term of the contract. What kind of legal and ethical measures can be taken to ensure the maintenance of a 90% prison occupancy rate? Let's work together to connect these things. I'm sure you're a smart person. It won't be long. Let's do the work.
So let me break it down for you one time. Last year, Corrections Corporation of America, now it's known as Core Civic, the biggest name in the private prison industry, contacted 48 states offering to buy their prisons. One stipulation of eligibility for the deal was bizarre: an assurance by an agency partner that the agency has sufficient inmate population to maintain a minimum of 90% occupancy rate over the term of the contract. We still don't know how long that contract is. What kind of legitimate ethical measures could possibly be taken to ensure the maintenance of 90% prison occupancy rate? 2 months later, an anonymous email was sent out to various members of the music and publishing industries. Okay, this is where you come in, little dumb Mr. Hill. Pay attention. An anonymous email was sent out to various members of the music and publishing industries, giving an account of a meeting where it was determined that hip hop would be manipulated to drive up privatized prison profits. Its author, despite claiming to be a former industry insider, did not provide the names of anyone involved in the plot, nor did he specify by which company he himself was employed. As such, the latter was largely regarded as a fraud or lack of facts. Okay, so let's get into something else. So when you break it down, we get into Vanguard and BlackRock, and they are the top two owners of Time Warner, Comcast, Disney, and News Corp. So who owns American media, and why do we want to look into this a little bit more? Well, Lil Nas X is an entertainer. He's in the entertainment industry, and he is with Columbia. He signed with Columbia Records, who is owned by Sony Music Entertainment. And what I found is, as it says here, 6 corporations, including 3 music labels, Universal, Sony, and Warner, deliver 90% of the media. An investment company, the Vanguard Group, is in fact the largest shareholder in CoreCivic, as well as owning shares in other companies on both prison and media fronts. Prison companies rely on social engineering, as well as police, lawyers, and judges, and planting drugs on people to bring them inmates and to remain lucrative. The companies that simultaneously own shares in both prisons and music production convince susceptible populations that violence is necessary in order to survive. People need to feel a part of their culture, and if violence is seen as a glamorous part of that particular culture, such as the post mid 90s popular hip hop and rap that now glorify the R word, hoeing and drugs, killing people and assault, it actually imparts cool status in the neighborhood. And as of now, what we have seen is a shift in that with the rise of homosexuality. Okay, why are we talking about this? Why is this important to the point? Okay, so what I brought up, right, is the fact that Lil Nas X is signed to Columbia Records, and when I look up who owns Columbia Records, it says right here Sony Entertainment. And if we look up what record companies invest in private prisons, it says right now 3 companies: Warner Records, Universal Music Group, and Sony Music Group. Okay? And um, who are affiliated with these companies that are invested in prison. And with you having that 90% chance if your ass did some to get locked up, right? You're more liable to get the book thrown at your ass. Now here you are, right, under the umbrella of these groups promoting this bullshit under the umbrella, because you're just a pawn. You're not nobody else. But you're part of the social engineering. And as we read earlier, they rely on that social engineering. And the social engineering is going in the direction of emasculating black men on a large scale. Doesn't have anything to do with you individually. Because let me tell you something. It's one thing for you to express yourself and make good music and things like that. That's one thing. But for you to go around and you're dancing with the devil, you're dancing butt naked in the fucking showers and shit, like just all this controversial shit. It's some bullshit, and you look like a mark. You look like a bitch made ass dummy, and you're calling this success. Let me tell you something. You're not even that talented to be doing all of that. I mean, maybe that's why you got to do all of that, because you're not that ill. Your singing voice isn't, your bars ain't really hitting for nothing. And that's if you're writing them, and whoever's writing them, you need to get somebody else. Maybe get, Safari or one of them other ghostwriters. And that brings me to my other point. You're leading with your sexuality as as the reason why we don't fuck with you. No, we don't fuck with you because you a mark. You know, um, we got talented artists such as let me go on the little small list that I wrote, and these is the ones that I just freestyled off the top of my head. Adam Lambert with his good singing ass, okay. Sam Smith, Janelle Monáe, okay. Freddie Mercury of Queen and Bohemian Rhapsody is my shit, okay. George Michael's fine ass, and Adam Lambert's fine than a motherfucker too. Luther Vandross, we know he fruitier than a bowl of Fruit Loops. Frank Ocean with his good singing ass, okay? James Baldwin is one of our most prolific speakers on the black culture, okay? Boy George, Elton John, David Boy, and Young Ma. They didn't kick down the table like, ooh, I'm gay. Like me, ooh, I'm gay. No, you know what they did? We knew they was gay. We knew it was something a little funny about them. But you know what? Their talent, their musical talent is what overrode all of that. Nobody gave a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cared about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Except when Adam Lambert did all that kissing and shit. But I guess, at the time, Madonna kissed Britney and Christina Aguilera, which I found pretty fucking gross. But anyway, all on the national stage. And that's the shit that I'm talking about. Like, there's no need to be doing all that extra ass shit. Be who you are. Just like Chris Brown said. Take your ass to the fucking stage, sing your song, and go home. Like, what the fuck is so difficult about that? Like, do your shit, do your job, make the money, and go home. Like, what is all this other stuff? And let me get into how all this comes together. Because as I said earlier, this is multi-layered. Okay? He got these weirdos in the LGBT community. Because listen, I know a whole lot of gay motherfuckers, and they don't affiliate themselves with LGBT. They just are who they are, and they keep it moving. They don't need no flag. They don't need no group. They don't need none of that shit to back them up for them to go to work, pay their bills, raise their kids, and go home and do it again the next day, and maybe go on a nice vacation in between. Maybe go to a nice party or a concert in between. They don't need all that extra shit. They don't do all that extra shit. You know what I'm saying? My friends, they've been together 10, 12 years. The other ones, 8, 9, 10 years. Like they've been going hard. They raising families. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're not walking around all flamboyant with all this weirdo shit. And let's get into the history of LGBT right quick and why it's a problem. It pisses me off because I wish the real motherfuckers in that community would really just it doesn't take anything to look into what you think you're supporting. When I was initially supporting Black Lives Matter, I was like, hell yeah, whoop. Then I started looking into it and realizing this is some bullshit. And we seen that was some bullshit. Old girl is going through the rain because she's spending the money. But she was a fraudulent ass bitch from the gate. And see, they taking that shit out on her, but they ain't going to the source. They ain't going to old George over there who doesn't have a problem funding both sides of a problem. So, this dude been putting in work for a long time. He is often recognized in the community as the father of um, gay rights and that whole movement. He done started mad groups. He done held mad protests and walks and things like that. And he fought fiercely. But the thing about that is he was often critical of the LGBT community because they didn't include what he was truly passionate about, and that was NAMBLA, okay? And that is the um, North American Man Boy Love Association, okay? So as it states, because they like to go around it. They go around shit. They talk about all his other groups, the Machete and all that other shit. But they always skip around that controversially it says Hay was an active supporter of the North American Man Boy Love Association, a advocacy organization. He protested the group being banned from pride parades, which means he wanted them included in the parades. So they always acknowledge him as the father and the whoopie scoop, but they leave that part out, okay? Wearing a sign protested. He was out. Basically, he was out there with a sign protesting the ban of not including dudes who like little boys. Okay, and this was in 1986 in the Los Angeles Pride Parade, and boycotting the New York Pride in 1994 for their refusal to include NAMBLA. Now I'll give them they snaps they do now. But what I'm seeing and what we're all seeing is how they're slowly but for surely putting this shit back in. They got kids at the pride parades. They got kids doing drag and getting paid, picking up money like stripper hoes, and making whole careers in YouTube videos as being kids in drag. That don't make no sense. That's a grown man game. Okay? He spoke out in support of relationships between adult men and boys as young as 13 and spoke at several NAMBLA meetings, including panels in 1984 and 1986 and another in 1994 about helping the group strategize a name change to help with their public image. And since I talk about it pretty often, I mention that correlation because it's really important to mention, because we have to understand that these conglomerates, these agendas and these plans are 20, 50, 100-year plans, okay? So I went on over to NAMBLA's site and I found some interesting things. And I'm going to just go to this main one. I'm not going to take 40 years. I encourage you to go to their website, NAMBLA.org, and just take a look at some of the shit that they own. They got books and shit dedicated to this shit. And what caught my attention is the one where it says, boys speak out. Here's some quotes from some boys. It says, these are some of the many letters and articles by youth which appear in Boys Speak Out on Man Boy Love, published by NAMBLA in an enlarged, newly revised edition. And they have books and shit where you could read about little boys professing their love for their tester. So here's a few. And I'm going to go to the youngest ones because I'm just like that. The oldest ones on here is 17. But under this one, love and loyalty, it shouldn't be a crime to make love. Brian, age 12 and a half. Boys help men too. Age 19. So I guess I was wrong there. I'm not going to be kept away from him. An interview. I don't know how to say his name, but he's 11. He listens to me unlike most people. Robert, age 16. Sex is really beautiful with my friend, age 13. Okay? Like, what the fuck? And you could order this shit. You could order this. And I got half the mind just to order it just to see. Just to see. And they got recommended reads and different things like that. They got some articles. They even mentioned the lady, or the bitch rather, who married that 12-year-old boy, the teacher back in the 90s, who married that, what is he? What is his race? Some kind of Asian, married him, Kay Laternus, where she married that boy. Let's see if y'all remember them. Let me know if y'all remember them down in the comments. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day. Hold on.
scandal that shocked America. You all remember Mary Kay Letourneau, the teacher who carried on an illicit and illegal relationship with 12-year-old student Billy Falau. Well, she's still behind bars, but Billy, now 18, and his mom said they deserve almost $2 million in compensation for the affair. They're suing the school district and Seattle suburb for not protecting a minor from Letourneau's advances. A jury's been deliberating the case since Wednesday. Still no verdict.
What caught my attention about this is how they mentioned in this little article that they wrote on here, I don't know if y'all can see it, is they say 12-year-olds give consent all the time. They do so, for instance, when they engage in dangerous sports such as tackle football or skateboarding, and these are some of the relatively less dangerous activities that kids are allowed to engage in voluntarily. Bitch, are you saying that a grown-ass person wanting to smash them is equal to going skateboarding? Or what else did they say? Playing football? They continue to say the argument that those two young to give consent are deemed so because they lack the brain development to make good judgment is also contradicted by the many reports of very young children taking initiatives that many adults would find challenging or impossible. Listen. And they go on and blabber on about some bullshit. And they basically say that their relationship was love. But I recall, I even recently got a response back to a comment on one of the videos that they had, basically how towards the end he hella regretted being with her because she done took this whole big ass chunk out of his life where he really didn't get to explore being a man with other women. She just sucked all his youth up out of him like a fucking vampire, and then she kicks the bucket at 58, and here he is still young and lost because he's been chestered for dumb years. And then at the end of this dumbass article, it says she had been, they basically begged the argument that if she had been a man in a same-sex relationship with a 12-year-old boy, he would have been given, from what we know from precedents, the equivalent of multi-life sentences. Most men who love boys are no less compassionate than Mary Kay, who was drawn to her lover's kindness and artistic spirit. Bitch, sit your dumb ass down. Now let me go to the About Us. Just organized chesters, okay? That's what it is. Like, you're not gonna piss on my head and call it fucking rain, okay? Now, the North American NAMBLA was formed in 1978. It was inspired by the success of a campaign based in Boston's gay community to defend against a local witch hunt. NAMBLA's goal is to end the extreme repression of men and boys in mutually consensual relationships by building understanding and support for relationships, educating the general public on the benevolent nature of man-boy love. And then, they just commence to contradict themselves. I wanted to focus on this, though. Although they say that they do not engage in activities that violate the law. How, bitch, when you're smashing minors? But they call for a fundamental reform of the laws regarding relations between youths and adults. Today, many thousands of men and boys are unjustly ground into the dysfunctional criminal system. Blindly, this system condemns consensual, loving relationships between younger and older people. NAMBLA's prisoner program, with limited resources, works to provide a resource of humanity to some of these people, and then they have a link to find out how. And then they're making this basically a civil rights issue, as was Harry Hay, the father of this gay situation. Okay, so You know, he's affiliated, so bringing it back to Lil Nah next. Um, you know, you're promoting this bullshit, not even knowing the origins of the situation. Like, listen, you could have came through on the gate on some Adam Lambert shit and made you a ill ass fucking video and a bop. Like, you could have had you a whole bop. Like, you acting like people is just coming for your neck. Like, yeah, they might come for your neck a little bit, but it ain't gonna change the fact that you like dudes. So what the fuck is the point of sitting up there doing a lap dance on the devil? There's no black equivalent, a white equivalent to Lil Nas X. And that's what another thing that grinds my gears. There's no super, like, there, I don't see no white dudes off in the prison, shaking it up with niggas. And I don't see, like, for example, let me think of something. You know how, in the black community, they talk about, you know, the R word in prison, and because the reason why it's so relevant in the black community is because it's our black men who are filling those prison cells. That's why, right? But we don't see white gay artists, you know, smoking meth and dancing in a meth house, you know, dancing in front of a house being blown up, you know, while they got little booty shorts, dancing in front of a meth house, right? Isn't that one of the problems that they face? You know, we don't see them twerking in front of bottles of opioids and shit like that. I don't know what them pills is called. I don't do pills or none of that shit. I don't see them shaking up bottles of pills, but we damn sure be pouring up lean and shit, right? I don't see fucking white boys, gay white dudes doing none of that shit. But niggas ain't got these. He ain't got no problem doing the dancing on the devil and doing the most, knowing that you blew up off of kids, bro. We looked at you as the kid rapper, and we still do. Now you look like a weirdo. Hell, even Liberace had a little bit more class than that, and he liked the young dudes too. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? He kept him a young dude around, not a little boy, but a young dude. You know what I'm saying? That was his preference. But we didn't see Frank Ocean doing the most. He came there, he sang his song, and he went home. Like, what the fuck? So I'm going to leave it there at that, because all I'm going to do is end up ranting and raving and doing all of this and that. And I got the same energy for the WAP video. You can watch my other video about that. My problem isn't your sexual orientation, because that's none of my business. As a matter of fact, that's nobody's goddamn business. And you know what? In the words of Luther Vandross, we want to know if you gay. That's none of your fucking business. End quote. And we all knew that he was, okay? But that didn't stop his good singing ass from dropping millions, getting millions and millions of dollars and sold out shows and having your mama and your grandmama and your auntie falling out at the concerts. That didn't stop none of that. But your old dumb ass want to walk around butt naked, looking like a whole. Yo, oh, shout out to this dude. I'm gonna shout him out, and I'm gonna let him know I shouted him out on my show, because I hope he comes for his neck, and I hope he's successful at it. Hold on. Before I go, I want to put y'all on to this ill dude who I thought, no lie, the video was kind of, but he's coming up in the world. His name is Loza Alexander. Apparently, he's a Trump fan, but ain't got nothing to do with me. But he got a little Nas X disc, and he's kicking facts. So, you know, I didn't like Trump either, but he was kicking facts too.
I ain't got no problem with gay people, honestly, but when you start indoctrinating children, that's when it's a fucking problem. LILNASX and his cameo too. Indoctrinating our children just to rank up the loot. I hate you cause you remind me of Satan. I'm waiting for you to go crazy and get a sex change and regret this shit too. You still relevant cause the left is just pushing you through like a weapon that's messing with the youth. Get the truth and the message. And since you like, I make you suck one with a spike rip and rip your fucking vocals out your throat with a nice pick. You little skittle, you couldn't survive in prison. They will take you out the kitchen and poke out your cream filling. I'm the mean villain, the commie killer with dreams, nigga. And my team bigger, just wait till I make the scene, nigga. Everybody wanna tell me I'm chasing the cloud. I'm quick to let this demon message get straight to your house. And now your kids still confused, but I couldn't let it slide. God lit me like a fuse, now it's time to go and ride. Said streets looking like a freak show. And the left wants these children and they all know. X see the demon with a dark soul.
I fucks with him because he got enough heart, enough courage to go against the bullshit. That's why I fucks with him. That's why I subscribe. I followed him. I follow all his shit now. And I want to see what he got to say because I fucks with motherfuckers who go against the grain. And, you know, everybody just going for this shit because they scared of, the repercussions of the LGBTQ community. That's why. So, Loza Alexander, go over there and check them out. I'm going to put a link in my description so y'all can check out his other music if you're interested. So there you go. And I'm going to make sure I shout him out. And I'm going to shout him out on the gram too. I'm going to repost it and let y'all know I got a video going as well. And hopefully he ain't grouchy and I don't get no copyright strikes. So with all that said, if you made it to the end, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment, sound off in the fucking comments down below. Go over to the Instagram and follow me on Real Talking Healthy Food on Instagram. You'll see me because lately I've been dropping, you know, lives on my Instagram in between videos because I just kind of been going through some things personally. But anyway, outside of that, make sure you go show him some love and shout me out in his comments too and let him know how you learned about him. And hopefully we could collab and make something happen. Not some music, but if he do though, I got a few bars that I could drop some real shit too. But yeah, anyway, I'm out. I'm tired. I'm tired of this stupid motherfucker. And I'm tired of these weirdos. You know, I got the same energy for the WAP video. It's not none of that. It's just, you know, just like I said about using Little Kim as an example, and using all these other rappers as an example. You know, I love me a good, nasty rap song. I like me some misogynistic bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Lick on these balls and suck a dick. I love that shit. That's my motherfucking jam. And it ain't no fun if the homies get have none. Not only was it was funny because they had we're back now at the Jack Off Hour. This is DJ Ziddick. And then he went to the song. He had a whole radio station and everybody's gotta hear the shit on W Balls. Like that was fucking hilarious. We never heard nothing like that before. I love that shit. I know that whole album like the back of my hand, even though I skip over Murder Was the Case because that's like a whole demon song. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm with the shits too. Right? I wear a Tupac shirt almost on every video. I'm a Bone Thugs fan. Bone Thugs for life. Right? But the difference is you do have a social responsibility at the end of the fucking day. Because you're black first. And the last thing I'm going to say was, on that album, we'll use Snoop and we'll use Lil Kim. On that album, I was just took those bars from. You know what song he put out? He put out What's My Name. He put out What's My Name. He put out Gin and Juice. Okay? And Murder Was the Case just happened to so be because he really actually had a fucking case. In regards to Little Kim, Taco is getting on my nerves. But in regards to Little Kim, you know, she had a whole bunch of nasty songs and shit like that. Even the intro nasty than a mug. Get off my flowers, Taco. But what did she, what was the single? No time for fake. Just sip some crystal with these real niggas. Okay? And crush on you. I know you see me on the radio or hear me on the radio. True. I know you see me on the video. True. But you still don't pay me no attention. She didn't get jump on the shit talking about some I got buffoons eating my pussy while I watch cartoons. She wasn't doing that. She wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, she was on the album. What? No, her album cover wasn't with her spread. She was on a bear fur rug in front of a fireplace with roses and champagne. Okay, like let's get that together. Even her other albums, she came out with whoa, 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 but she had her nasty shit on the album. That's my point. That's my point, because there's still a social responsibility. Yes, were the albums still controversial and were they talked about and didn't they bring her up on these talk shows? Yes, they did. But that's because they had to buy the album to hear that shit. That's not what was put on the TV. That's not what was put on the radio. I don't appreciate just seeing Cardi B's titties and her making out with three bitches. Like, that's fucking revolting. Like, I'm sorry, it just wasn't sexy to me. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing hot about that to me. I don't know. And I used to bag bitches, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. Take it for what you want. Anyway, I'm out this motherfucker. Peace, love, and hair grease, and all that jazz. Share if you care. Share if you dare. Especially if you're a Care Bear. Please make sure you let me know how you feel. Hit me up on BitChute. Please subscribe there. I'll leave that link there too. And also check out my Anchor. I'll be uploading this or sending it to Anchor some kind of way as well. So yeah, I'll be dropping more stuff on Anchor as well, especially things when it comes to the 49ers and the act scene and all that. I'll be putting more of that type of content on Anchor because the censorship is real. All right, I'm out. Cue the outro.